Summary of The Sign of the Four by Arthur Conan Doyle. The Sign of the Four is the second Sherlock Holmes novel written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and published in 1890. It is a detective novel that combines mystery, adventure, crime, justice, friendship, and romance. The story is narrated by Dr. John Watson, Holmes's close friend and companion. The novel begins when Miss Mary Morstan visits Sherlock Holmes with a strange problem. Her father, Captain Arthur Morstan, disappeared mysteriously 10 years earlier after returning from India. For the past 6 years, she has been receiving a valuable pearl every year from an unknown sender. One day, she receives a letter asking her to meet an anonymous person. Holmes and Dr. Watson accompany her. They meet Thaddeus Sholto, who reveals that his father, Major John Sholto, and Captain Morstan had discovered a valuable treasure in India. However, Major Sholto secretly kept the treasure for himself. Before he could reveal its hiding place, he died. Thaddeus informs them that his brother, Bartholomew Sholto, has finally discovered the hidden treasure. When they arrive at Pondicherry Lodge, they find Bartholomew Sholto murdered inside his locked room. The treasure chest is empty, and a note bearing the words "The Sign of the Four" is found near the body. Holmes carefully examines the crime scene and discovers unusual clues, including the footprints of a man with a wooden leg, the footprints of a small barefoot companion, and a poisoned thorn. Holmes begins his investigation with the help of his faithful dog Toby, who follows the scent left by the criminals. The trail leads to the River Thames, where Holmes and the police chase the criminals in a steam launch. During the exciting pursuit, Tonga, an Andaman islander who uses poisoned darts, is shot dead. His companion, Jonathan Small, is captured alive. Jonathan Small tells the true story behind the mystery. Many years earlier, while serving in India, he and 3 Indian men, Abdullah Khan, Dast Akbar, and Mohammed Singh, found a great treasure in Agra during the revolt of 1857. They made a solemn agreement called the Sign of the Four, promising to share the treasure equally. Later, Major Sholto betrayed them by taking the treasure and escaping to England without keeping his promise. After spending many years in prison, Jonathan Small escaped and came to England with Tonga to recover the treasure. Although his intention was to reclaim what he believed belonged to him, Tonga killed Bartholomew Sholto with a poisoned dart during the theft. While escaping from the police, Jonathan Small threw the treasure into the River Thames, declaring that if he could not possess it, no one else would. Thus, the treasure was lost forever. At the end of the novel, the mystery is solved, Jonathan Small is arrested, and Thaddeus Sholto is proved innocent. Dr. Watson falls in love with Mary Morstan and proposes marriage to her, and she happily accepts. The novel explores important themes such as greed, betrayal, justice, revenge, friendship, love, and the triumph of truth. It also highlights Sherlock Holmes's extraordinary powers of observation, logical reasoning, and scientific investigation. The Sign of the Four remains one of the finest detective novels in English literature and a masterpiece of Arthur Conan Doyle. Plot and publication history of The Sign of the Four. By Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The Sign of the Four is the second detective novel featuring the famous detective Sherlock Holmes, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. First published in 1890, the novel is a classic work of detective fiction. It combines mystery, adventure, crime, romance, and suspense. The story also reflects the social and historical background of Victorian England and British India. Publication history. The Sign of the Four was first published in Lippincott's monthly magazine in February 1890. Later that year, it was published as a book by Spencer Blackett in London. The novel was written after Arthur Conan Doyle accepted an invitation from the American editor J.M. Stoddart to write a new Sherlock Holmes story. This is the second full-length Sherlock Holmes novel, following A Study in Scarlet, 1887. Although it was not an immediate bestseller, it became highly popular after the Sherlock Holmes stories began appearing in the Strand magazine in 1891. Today, it is regarded as one of the finest detective novels in English literature. The novel is set mainly in London in 1888, but an important part of the story is connected with Agra, India, during the Indian Rebellion of 1857. This historical background adds depth and realism to the mystery. Plot of the novel. The story begins when Miss Mary Morstan visits Sherlock Holmes for help. Her father, Captain Arthur Morstan, disappeared mysteriously 10 years earlier after returning from India. Since then, she has received a valuable pearl every year from an unknown sender. One day she receives a mysterious letter inviting her to a secret meeting. Holmes and Dr. John Watson accompany Mary to the meeting, where they meet Thaddeus Sholto. Thaddeus reveals that his father, Major John Sholto, and Captain Morstan had discovered a valuable treasure in India. However, Major Sholto secretly kept the treasure instead of sharing it with Captain Morstan. Before he could reveal the treasure's hiding place, he died. Thaddeus tells them that his brother, Bartholomew Sholto, has found the hidden treasure. When they reach Pondicherry Lodge, they discover that Bartholomew has been murdered inside a locked room. The treasure has disappeared, and a note reading the sign of the four is found near the body. Sherlock Holmes carefully examines the crime scene. He finds the footprints of a man with a wooden leg, tiny footprints of another person, and a poisoned thorn. With the help of his tracking dog Toby, Holmes follows the clues to the River Thames. A thrilling boat chase follows. During the pursuit, Tonga, an Andaman islander and companion of Jonathan Small, attacks with poisoned darts but is shot dead. Jonathan Small is captured and reveals the truth behind the mystery. Small explains that many years earlier, during the Indian Rebellion of 1857, he and 3 Indian men, Abdullah Khan, Dust Akbar, and Mohammed Singh, had discovered a priceless treasure in Agra. They made a secret agreement called the Sign of the Four, promising to share the treasure equally. However, Major Sholto betrayed them by taking the treasure and escaping to England. After spending many years in prison, Jonathan Small escaped and came to England with Tonga to recover what he believed was his rightful share. During the theft, Tonga killed Bartholomew Sholto with a poisoned dart. When the police chased them, Jonathan Small threw the treasure into the River Thames, saying that if he could not have it, no one else would. As a result, the treasure was lost forever. At the end of the novel, Jonathan Small is arrested, the mystery is solved, and Dr. Watson proposes marriage to Mary Morstan, who accepts his proposal. Conclusion. The Sign of the Four is a remarkable detective novel that explores themes such as greed, betrayal, justice, revenge, loyalty, and love. It highlights Sherlock Holmes's extraordinary powers of observation, logical reasoning, and scientific investigation. The novel remains one of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's greatest achievements and a timeless masterpiece of detective fiction.